money, but you didn't want to pay it. Oh, well, hello there, everybody. Welcome to Social Autopsy, where we dissect society piece by piece. I'm Rob, and today we're going to be talking boobs. Sexism in video games is a hot topic. A number of people stand by the idea that women's bodies are exploited in order to boost sales. Let me explain it real easily for you. More boobs equals more money. But what if I were to tell you that scantily clad women weren't simply for the enjoyment of that one dude who gets their greasy cheese puff fingers all over your controller, Bob? Sorry. What if I told you that boobs save lives? Well, it really just starts with one thing. And that one thing is honeypots. But this ain't your Pooh Bear kind of honeypot. And it's also a little bit sexier than Pooh Bear, but this sexy little devil. No panties either, eh, Pooh? Dirty little boy. Honeypots, known also as honey traps, have been known throughout vast amounts of history and are even mentioned in the Bible. A honeypot is when a woman with overwhelming sexual appeal seduces a man in order to obtain something of value, usually information. This information can be invaluable to her government, and therefore she could potentially save millions of lives, depending on how vital the information she gets is. Russian and Chinese governments are actually pretty much really well known for setting honey traps. And though the CIA doesn't like to openly admit it, former intelligence agents do claim that, yeah, they've used honey traps from time to time to get information. Where they would set up some of their female operatives, they go and shack up with some kind of guy, get their information they need, and then they just disappear forever. But don't worry, that chick you hooked up with last weekend was totally legit. She wasn't looking for information. She actually disappeared because you have a really embarrassing penis. You really do. And if you're a woman, then that also works because your penis doesn't even look like a penis, so there you go. But some women misuse their sexy. In France, two girls wanted a bit of quick, easy cash, and instead of robbing a convenience store like civilized human beings, the two would find unsuspecting men at ATM machines. One girl would flash her breasts and grab the man's crotch. While he was dazed by what was going on, the other girl would rush up, swipe the money, and the two would take off. There was even a case recently where two women wore sexy police uniforms right into a prison and were able to actually drug up the guards and free nearly 30 inmates. So why are we pretending like we don't know why women are being dressed up this way? Does it intrigue men? Well, yeah, sure, it intrigues some women too. Why are we pretending like we don't know that there are certain advantages to a woman flaunting what she's got? Showing off her anaconda for the buns, or however that silly song goes. There's no doubt that in the society that we live in, boobs equals win. Whether it's in a time of war or it's just a woman trying to get what a woman wants, there's no doubting that boobs can be a means to an end. And boobs aren't even a sexual organ. They don't even need to be. In Japanese history, a female ninja may have been discovered trying to obtain intelligence. Faced with certain death against her attacker, a technique used would be to flash her breasts to distract the aggressor just long enough so she could get away to save her life. Back then, much like today, a woman's exposed body gives people pause. It hangs us up. We're like, wow, look at that skin. History shows us time and time again that breasts aren't just seen as sexual objects. They hold power. They demand attention. And like all forms of power, boobs can be used for good or for evil, for right or for wrong. But there's no doubting that breasts can be a tool. And when a person is in a dire situation, which could mean life or death, freedom or imprisonment, they need every tool at their disposal. So why are people so enraged when a woman is dressed in a revealing manner when it comes to video games? Is the woman not clearly fighting a battle which the odds are stacked tremendously against her? If showing off her boobs can deter an enemy, or at the very least distract them, is that not giving the woman an advantage so she might survive the fight? Doesn't it make sense? If she's fully concealed, the attackers might see her no differently than another man. But when men have a pair of boobs in their face, in so many instances, it's game over for them. So perhaps you can join me in saluting women who use their boobs to save countless lives every day. To the women who don't treat their bodies like they should be ashamed of them, despite what other women might be telling them to think. The women who don't let anybody tell them what they can or cannot do with their bodies. The ones who know that you don't have to be as strong as a man to be able to kick his ass. Do we live in a society that makes boobs taboo? Absolutely. Is it wrong? I think so. But until the day comes where boobs lose their shock value, I stand up and salute, and I hope you will salute with me to a world where a woman can be badass and sexy at the same time. And that's all for this episode. With all the opinions I've got, I'd like to thank Opinion Outpost for sponsoring this episode. Opinion Outpost is a site where your opinion can earn you cash, Amazon gift cards, and more. It's free to join, and hundreds of thousands of people already have. All you need to do is complete opinion-based surveys you qualify for and earn points and redeem the points for gift cards or cash on their site. Each survey completed even enters you to potentially win $10,000 every quarter. So go check out the link in the description below and start getting paid for your opinions. And don't forget to click that like button below, and of course, subscribe to my channel because you're not going to want to miss my content, and I'll be seeing you next time.